Ladies and gentlemen, before I begin, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine loving someone so deeply that distance, time, and even countries don't matter anymore. Because sometimes love isn't just words. Sometimes love is action. And today I'm standing here not just as a man with a speech, but as a man with a plan. A plan that includes a plane ticket, a dream city, and the woman I call my future wife. Yes, I already booked a ticket to Dubai, not just for a trip, but for a moment in our story that we'll remember forever. Because when love is real, you don't wait for the future. You start building it. And tonight, I want to tell you about the woman who made me believe in that future. There are moments in life that arrive quietly. They don't announce themselves, they don't ask for attention, they simply appear, stand in front of you for a second, and then change everything. I remember one of those moments. It wasn't dramatic. No fireworks, no music playing in the background, no perfect movie scene, just a simple moment where I looked at you and realized something that felt both peaceful and powerful at the same time. You were talking. I don't even remember what the conversation was about. Maybe it was something ordinary. Maybe it was a small story from your day. But while you were speaking, I noticed something. The way your eyes carried honesty, the way your smile felt effortless, the way your presence made everything around me slow down. And in that little quiet second, a strange thought crossed my mind. Not I like her, not she's interesting, but something much deeper. She feels like home. That thought stayed with me. At first, I tried to ignore it, because sometimes when something feels too real, we question it. We wonder if it's just emotion, just a temporary feeling passing through the mind. But the more time passed, the more I noticed how different things felt around you. Life suddenly felt calmer. The noise in my mind became quieter. The rush of the world slowed down a little. Conversations became more meaningful. Even silence started to feel comfortable. You didn't try to impress me. You didn't try to become someone else. You were simply yourself. And somehow that authenticity became the most powerful thing in the room. People often think love is about grand gestures. They imagine dramatic confessions, perfect words, or unforgettable scenes. But what I discovered with you was different. Love sometimes begins in small details. It begins when someone remembers the little things you say without you realizing it. It begins when someone listens, not because they have to, but because they want to understand you. It begins when someone's presence makes the world feel less heavy. And slowly, without pressure, without forcing anything, you became that presence in my life. I started noticing how my days changed. When something good happened, you were the first person I wanted to tell. When something difficult appeared, you were the person I wanted beside me, not because you could fix everything, but because somehow things felt easier when you were there. That's when I began to understand something important. Real love is not loud. Real love is steady. It walks quietly beside you. It doesn't rush. It doesn't demand. It simply stays. And you stayed in conversations that lasted longer than expected, in laughter that appeared out of nowhere in those calm pauses where nothing needed to be said. Some people search for excitement. Some people search for perfection. But I realized I was searching for something else, peace. And somehow you carried that peace with you, the kind that makes a person breathe easier. The kind that reminds someone they don't have to fight the world alone. The more I observed you, the more I noticed your strength. Not the loud kind of strength that tries to dominate a room, but the quiet strength that keeps moving forward even when life becomes difficult. The way you do is handle challenges, the way you care about people, the way you remain kind in situations where many people would become cold. Those things revealed a lot about who you are. And the truth is, character speaks louder than any words. Anyone can say beautiful things, but not everyone can live with sincerity. You did. And slowly, a thought that once felt small began to grow stronger. A future, not a distant dream. Not an unrealistic fantasy, but a simple, honest future where two people walk through life side by side, where victories are shared, where struggles are faced together, where silence between two people feels just as meaningful as conversation. When I imagined the road ahead of me, something interesting happened. Every version of that future included you. Different places, different experiences, different moments, but the one constant was always the same. You were there standing beside me, laughing with me, walking forward with me. That realization didn't arrive like a sudden storm. It arrived like sunrise, slowly, softly, until one day the light was everywhere and there was no denying it anymore. And that's when I understood something simple but powerful. Some people enter your life to pass time. Some people enter your life to teach lessons, but a very small number of people enter your life and become part of your path. You became part of mine. People often think that decisions come from logic. They imagine a person sitting down, thinking carefully, calculating every possibility before taking a step forward. But sometimes the most meaningful decisions don't come from calculation. They come from clarity. A quiet clarity that appears when your heart and your mind finally agree on something. That's how the idea began. Not with a big plan, not with a dramatic intention, just a small thought that appeared one evening while I was sitting alone thinking about where life was going. I realized something simple. Life moves fast. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. And before we notice, time quietly builds our story for us. Some people wait too long to act. They keep postponing meaningful moments, telling themselves there will always be another time, another opportunity, another day. But the truth is, meaningful moments are not something we should always postpone. Sometimes we should create them. And that's when a small idea entered my mind. Dubai, a city built in the middle of the desert, a place where imagination turned into reality, towers rising where once there was only sand, lights shining where once there was silence, a place that represents possibility. At first, it was just a passing thought. What if one day we stood there together? What if one day we walked through those bright streets looking at the skyline that touches the sky, sharing the kind of quiet excitement that comes from discovering something new together? It felt like one of those dreams people casually imagine and then forget, but this one didn't disappear. It stayed. The more I thought about it, the more the idea grew stronger. Because the truth is, the place itself wasn't the real point. The real point was the moment. A moment where two people step out of their routine and step into something unforgettable. Travel has a strange power. When people leave their familiar surroundings, something changes inside them. They become more open, more present, more aware of the beauty around them. Conversations become deeper. Laughter becomes more natural. Memories become stronger. And suddenly I realized something. If I truly believed in the future I was imagining with you, then I shouldn't treat it like a distant dream. I should take the first step, not a complicated step, not something impossible, just something real. So one night I opened my laptop. The room was quiet. The world outside had slowed down. It was one of those calm moments where a person feels completely alone with their thoughts. And I searched for flights. At first, I looked at it like people look at possibilities, just browsing, just exploring. But then something interesting happened. The more I looked at the details, the more real it started to feel. The departure times, the arrival gates, the routes crossing the sky from one place to another. These weren't just numbers and schedules anymore. They were the beginning of a story. I imagined the moment at the airport, the quiet excitement before a journey, the sound of people moving through terminals, the feeling of knowing that in a few hours you will be somewhere completely different from where you started. But the most powerful image wasn't the city. It was you standing there beside me, looking out the airplane window as the lights of the Cities slowly appear below the clouds, sharing that silent smile people have when they realize they're about to experience something new together. In that moment, the decision didn't feel complicated anymore. It felt obvious because sometimes life presents us with moments where we either hesitate or we act, and I didn't want to hesitate. So I did something simple. I booked the ticket. Not because Dubai is the most important place in the world, not because travel itself defines love, but because action speaks louder than imagination. Anyone can talk about future plans. Anyone can describe dreams. But turning a dream into a real step, that's different. That's commitment. And when I confirmed that ticket, it felt like more than a reservation. It felt like a message that said, I'm serious about this path, serious about creating moments together, serious about building memories that will exist long after the trip itself is over. Because the truth is, the most valuable thing we collect in life isn't money or possessions or achievements. It's memories, the laughter shared in unfamiliar places, the small conversations during long walks, the quiet understanding between two people when they realize they are exactly where they are meant to be. And somewhere in the middle of a busy airport or under the lights of a distant city, I imagine a moment where we look at each other and realize something simple. This journey didn't begin when the airplane left the ground. It began the moment I decided that you were someone worth traveling the world with. People talk about love in many different ways. Some describe it like a storm that suddenly arrives and changes everything. Others describe it like a fire that burns intensely, bright, unstoppable. But the kind of love I believe in is different. To me, love is quieter than that. It doesn't need to prove itself with noise or dramatic moments. It doesn't try to control or rush things. Instead, it moves with patience. It grows slowly, almost unnoticed, until one day you realize it has become one of the most important parts of your life. Love, in its truest form, feels steady. It's the feeling of knowing that someone understands you without needing constant explanations. It's the comfort of being able to sit in silence with someone and still feel connected. It's the quiet confidence that no matter how complicated the world becomes, there is at least one person who stands beside you. When I think about love, I don't think about perfection. No person is perfect. No relationship is perfect. Life itself is full of unexpected turns, challenges, and moments that test our patience and strength. Real love isn't about avoiding those moments. Real love is about facing them together. It's about two people choosing each other again and again, even when life becomes difficult. It's about understanding that happiness isn't always constant, but commitment can be, and commitment is powerful. It means standing beside someone not only when everything is easy, but also when things become uncertain. It means listening when the other person needs to speak. It means offering support when the other person feels tired. Sometimes love looks like laughter, sometimes it looks like encouragement, and sometimes it looks like simply being present when words aren't enough. I believe love should never feel like a competition. It shouldn't be about who wins arguments or who proves a point. Instead, it should feel like a partnership where two people protect each other's peace, where respect is stronger than pride, where understanding is more important than being right. The world can be loud and chaotic. Every day we face responsibilities, expectations, pressures that try to pull our attention in different directions. But love can become a place where that chaos slows down, a place where two people remind each other what really matters: kindness, patience, trust. Trust is one of the most important parts of love. Without trust, even the strongest emotions begin to weaken. But when trust exists, everything else becomes easier to build. Trust means believing in someone's intentions. Trust means knowing that the person beside you respects your heart enough not to break it. And that kind of trust doesn't appear overnight. It grows through honesty, through small actions repeated again and again until they form a pattern of reliability. Over time, those patterns create something powerful. Security, the kind of security where you don't constantly question the relationship. The kind where you can focus on growing together instead of worrying about losing each other. Love should make life feel larger, not smaller. It should encourage people to become better versions of themselves, not through pressure, but through inspiration. When you care deeply about someone, their happiness becomes important to you. Their dreams begin to matter. Their goals become something you want to support, and suddenly, the future becomes something you build together, two paths merging into one direction. That's the kind of love I believe in. Not temporary excitement that disappears after the first challenge, but something deeper, something resilient, something patient enough to last through time. Because time is the true test of everything. Feelings can be intense at the beginning of any connection, but real love reveals itself in consistency, in the way two people continue choosing each other long after the first excitement fades. It reveals itself in loyalty, in respect, in the quiet understanding that even when the world changes, the foundation between two people remains strong. When I think about love, I don't imagine something complicated. I imagine two people walking side by side through life. Sometimes the road is smooth, sometimes the road becomes difficult, but the important thing is that neither person walks alone. They face every experience together, sharing victories, learning from mistakes, supporting each other when strength feels low, and celebrating every small moment that reminds them how meaningful their connection truly is. That's the kind of love I want. Not something temporary, not something uncertain, but something real enough to grow strong, enough to last, and calm enough to bring peace into both of our lives. When I think about the future, I don't imagine something perfect. Perfection is an illusion. Life was never meant to be flawless. Every path has its obstacles. Every journey has moments that challenge patience, courage, and faith. But the future I imagine with you is something real, something honest, something built not on perfect days but on shared ones. I imagine mornings that begin quietly, the kind where sunlight slowly fills the room and the world hasn't fully woken up yet. Moments where there is no rush, no noise, just two people starting another day together. Not every morning will feel extraordinary, but that's the beauty of it, because sometimes the most meaningful parts of life are hidden inside ordinary days. I imagine simple conversations over coffee, random laughter that appears without warning, the small habit of asking each other how the day went and actually listening to the answer. Those little things may not sound dramatic, but over time they become the foundation of a life. A life where comfort grows naturally, a life where two people learn each other more deeply with every passing year. I imagine building memories in different places, some close to home, some far away. There is a moment in life that sneaks up on you quietly without warning. It doesn't arrive with fanfare or dramatic music. It isn't announced by signs or proclamations. Instead, it comes like a soft breeze that suddenly makes you notice the world differently. And for me, that moment came when I realized I wanted to travel the world with you. It wasn't a sudden epiphany with fireworks in the sky or some perfect cinematic scene. It began in ordinary life, in small instances that gradually added up until the truth became undeniable. I noticed how your curiosity pulled you toward new experiences, how your laughter could fill a room even when it was quiet, and how your mind was always exploring beyond what was immediately in front of you. It made me see that the world isn't just a place we inhabit. It's a space waiting to be discovered, especially when you have someone beside you who sees it with the same wonder. I remember the first time I imagined being somewhere far away, a place neither of us had visited before, and imagining your hand in mine. I thought about wandering streets unknown to us, about streets that smelled different, sounded different, and yet felt right because we were together. It was the way your eyes would light up at something small, a flower on a sidewalk, a piece of art in a gallery, a sunset spilling its colors across the sky that made me understand something important with you. Any place could feel like home. Travel is not only about the destinations, it's about the moments shared along the way. The quiet moments on planes, the laughter in cabs that get lost in unfamiliar cities, the meals we discover together that neither of us expected but that we both fall in love with. It's the way you notice things I would normally overlook, how you turn ordinary experiences into stories that we will tell each other for years. That is when it hit me. The journey itself becomes extraordinary simply because you are part of it. Before that moment, I had thought about travel casually like most people do. Maybe a vacation, maybe a trip, maybe a weekend getaway. But imagining you beside me changed everything. It wasn't about seeing the world alone anymore. It was about experiencing everything, alongside the person who made my life feel full. The person who had become the center of my thoughts and the quiet anchor of my heart. Suddenly, every city I thought about, every country I imagined visiting was incomplete without you, Bill. Horizon became more inviting because it wasn't just a horizon, it was ours to explore. I began to notice something else during this realization. Life is unpredictable, the world is vast, and moments like these do not wait. Plans can shift, opportunities can disappear, and days that feel ordinary can transform into memories forever gone. And that's when the desire to share every possible adventure with you became urgent. I didn't want to wait for the perfect time because perfect time doesn't exist. The only time is now. The only moment is the one where we choose to step forward together. That understanding pushed me quietly but insistently to take action, to make plans, to create opportunities where there had been only imagination before. It's not about the number of places we will visit or how luxurious the trips might be. It's about the way I want to experience life with you in it. I want to walk down streets where neither of us speaks the language, but we understand each other perfectly. I want to try foods that challenge our taste buds and discover flavors we didn't know we loved. I want to get lost together in cities full of unfamiliar sounds and lights, and laugh at our confusion because being with you will always make any challenge enjoyable. I want to sit on the edge of a cliff somewhere remote and watch the sun disappear below the horizon, knowing that I am sharing that moment with someone who transforms every ordinary sunset into something magical. And though truth is, this desire is bigger than any single journey, it's not just about seeing new places. It's about building a life together that continuously feels alive, that continually introduces us to experiences we could never have imagined alone. It's about sharing discoveries, creating stories, and collecting memories that belong only to us. It's about traveling not just across landscapes, but across life, across time, across challenges and victories, with the understanding that the most important journey is always the one we take together. I realize that I want to travel the world with you because you make the world feel limitless. You make ordinary streets feel like new adventures. You make every meal taste more delicious. You make ordinary sunsets feel like something we will remember forever. You turn quiet moments into the most vivid memories with you. Every corner of the earth feels familiar, and yet every experience is extraordinary. And that is why I knew in that quiet, unassuming moment, I understood something profound. Wherever life may take us, wherever the roads may lead, wherever the skies may guide us, I want you beside me. Because with you, the world itself feels alive. With you, even the smallest trip feels like the most important journey. And with you, every path I take feels like the one I was meant to walk all along. I want to explore the world with you, not just for the sights, the sounds, or the places, but because every step becomes meaningful when you are there. Because every journey transforms into a story only we can tell. Because every day, even in a city I've never seen before, becomes home when you are part of it. This realization didn't need an announcement, it didn't need fanfare. It quietly settled in my heart, persistent and undeniable. And from that day forward, every plan, every thought of adventure, every imagination of a future far from here included you. Not as a guest, not as a visitor, but as my constant companion, the one person I cannot imagine any journey without. It's a feeling that cannot be rushed or forced. It grows quietly, persistently, until it becomes unavoidable. It is steady and calm, and yet it shakes you to your core because it carries the weight of all the decisions and dreams you will ever want to make. I want to see new cities, foreign streets, sunsets in distant lands and unknown skies. But the reason I want to do all of that is because I want to do it with you. I want to laugh with you, stumble with you, and create a world together that belongs only to us. And as I book that ticket, I realize something even deeper. It is not the journey itself that excites me. It is knowing that you are the one I will share every step with, that every plane, every street, every corner of the world we encounter will be a story we write together, that every experience, whether joyous, challenging, or quiet, will feel meaningful because it is ours. Because life is not measured by destinations, but by the company we keep along the way. And I have chosen you. There is something about you that makes the ordinary extraordinary. Something about you that sets you apart from everyone else I have ever met. It is not a single quality, and it is not a dramatic one. It is subtle. It is quiet. It is the kind of thing that grows inside me until I can no longer ignore it, until it becomes impossible to imagine life without it. I have met many people in my life, and each one carries a story, a presence, a way of being. Some are loud and memorable. Some are kind but distant. Some are extraordinary in ways that shine brightly but briefly, and yet none have affected me the way you do. There is a depth to you that cannot be captured in a simple moment. There is a complexity to your heart and mind that does not demand attention, yet draws it effortlessly. It is in the way you listen, truly listen, not just hearing words, but understanding them. Not just responding, but feeling them. When you pay attention, it is as though the world slows down, as though nothing else exists except this shared space between two people. That attention is rare, that patience is rare, and it is one of the countless reasons why you are unlike anyone I have ever met. You have a way of carrying your strength without needing to prove it. You have a way of speaking your mind without imposing it on others. You have a way of existing in the world where kindness and conviction coexist in perfect balance. Many people display courage, but yours is quiet. It is the kind that does not seek recognition or applause. It is the kind that manifests itself in your actions, in the choices you make, in the respect you show for yourself and others. I notice the way you approach life with curiosity, the way you seek to understand, to experience, to learn. You do not settle for surface-level encounters. You dive deeper. You explore. You embrace challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. And watching you engage with the world in that way makes me want to be better. To see the world through your eyes, to approach life with the same openness and courage that you demonstrate every day. There is also a warmth in you that cannot be faked. It radiates in ways that draw people in without effort. People feel it. I feel it. It is the kind of warmth that does not demand reciprocation but invites it. It is gentle, steady, and yet undeniable. It reminds me of what it feels like to be seen and understood in a world that often moves too fast to notice the quiet truths. And then there is your laughter. It is not just the sound itself. Though it is beautiful, it is the energy behind it. It is the way it emerges from your soul. It is the way it can turn even ordinary moments into ones I will remember forever. That laughter, combined with your thoughtfulness, your insight, your quiet determination, creates a presence that is impossible to ignore and unforgettable to those who are lucky enough to witness it. You are different from everyone else because you embody balance. You are ambitious yet humble. You are strong yet tender. You are serious yet playful. You challenge me and inspire me. And yet you offer comfort when life becomes heavy. You are in every way a complete paradox that somehow makes perfect sense. It is in these small, often unnoticed qualities that I see why my heart chose you before I even realized it. It is in these moments that I understood something profound, that the person I want to share every journey with, every sunrise and sunset, every ordinary day and extraordinary adventure is you. Not someone else, not someone easier, brighter, or simpler. You in your entirety are the one I cannot imagine living without. And it is not just your presence that makes you different. It is the way you inspire those around you. You make people better by being yourself. You challenge the assumptions of what love, kindness, patience, and courage can look like in the real world. Your essence encourages growth, compassion, and honesty. You are rare, not because you seek to stand out, but because you live with integrity in a way that others cannot replicate. I notice every detail, every nuance, every unique element that makes you who you are. The way your eyes light up when you speak of things that matter to you. The way your voice softens when you are thoughtful. The way your hands move when you explain something you care about. Each of these moments adds to the whole of you. And together they create someone unforgettable, someone irreplaceable, someone whose presence transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Being with you teaches me lessons about patience, about respect, about humility. Being with you reminds me that love is not about grand gestures or fleeting excitement. It is about seeing someone fully and choosing them again and again every single day in every way possible. You are different because you make choosing you feel like the most natural and inevitable thing in the world. No one else could ever occupy this space in my heart because no one else embodies the combination of qualities you do. Your uniqueness is not loud, not boastful. It is steady, persistent, and quietly undeniable. It draws me in, captivates my attention, and makes me want to be the person who is worthy of standing beside you. I look at you and I see more than just the present moment. I see the future. I see the adventures we will share. I see the laughter, the quiet evenings, the challenges we will face together. And I see someone extraordinary to share it all with, someone who is unlike anyone else. And precisely because of that, someone I cannot imagine a life without. You are different from everyone else, and that difference is everything. It is the reason I want to travel the world with you. It is the reason I want to share my life with you. It is the reason that even in a world full of people, full of choices, full of possibilities, my heart has chosen so only you. And every day I am grateful for that, grateful for your uniqueness, grateful for your presence, grateful for the way you make everything in life feel more meaningful simply by being who you are. Promises are not easy to make. They carry weight. They carry responsibility. They are not just words spoken in a fleeting moment. They are commitments that shape the way two people move through life together. And the promise I carry for our future is one I have thought about with every beat of my heart, with every quiet moment, with every vision of the life I hope to build with you. It is a promise not made in haste or under pressure. It is a promise that arises from the deepest understanding of who you are and what you mean to me. It is a promise forged in clarity, in certainty, in the quiet realization that you are the person I want beside me for every sunrise and sunset, every laughter-filled day, every challenging night, and every ordinary moment that becomes extraordinary simply because we share it together. I promise to choose you every single day, not only when life is easy, not only when circumstances favor us, but in every situation, no matter how unpredictable, no matter how uncertain. I promise to stand beside you, even when the world feels heavy, even when time tests our patience, even when challenges seem insurmountable. I promise to be steady in my commitment, unwavering in my support, and relentless in my belief in us, in what we are building together, and in the love that has already transformed my life in ways I could never have imagined. I promise to celebrate you, to honor your victories, no matter how big or small, to be the person cheering the loudest when your dreams come true, and the person silently proud when your efforts succeed without recognition from the world. Every achievement of yours will be mine to celebrate because your joy becomes my joy. Your dreams become part of my vision, and your successes enrich the life we are building. Together, I promise to support you, to lift you when you feel weighed down, to listen when you need to speak, and to speak when you sense my presence can bring clarity or comfort, to share in the burdens of life, not as a task, but as a shared responsibility that deepens the bond we have chosen to create. I promise to be your partner in every sense of the word, equal, attentive, compassionate, and fully present. I promise to protect us, not just in the sense of guarding our love from outside interference, but in nurturing the inner world we create together. I promise to protect our trust, our understanding, our laughter, and the quiet moments that define the core of our connection. I promise to defend the foundation of respect, patience, and honesty that binds us, and to recognize that this foundation is more valuable than any fleeting emotion, any challenge, any distraction. I promise to grow with you. Life is ever-changing, people change, circumstances shift, and yet growth is a choice, and it is a promise I make to evolve alongside you, to learn from you, to embrace change as something we navigate together rather than something that drives us apart. I promise to adapt, to be patient, to remain flexible, and to cherish the evolving journey of our lives without losing sight of the constant that is our love. I promise to dream with you, to envision a future that stretches beyond what we see today, to imagine moments of joy, adventure, and wonder, and then work together to make them real, to share in the excitement of discovering new places, new experiences, and new parts of ourselves along the way, to imagine a life without limits. Because we are together, and together we can create something beyond what either of us could imagine alone. The day I call you my wife is not just a moment on a calendar. It is not a date marked with decoration, music, or ceremony alone. It is a culmination of everything that has led us to this point. Every smile we have shared, every challenge we have faced, every quiet moment that brought us closer together, every dream we have whispered to each other and carried into reality. That day will be more than an event. It will be the living embodiment of the love, trust, and commitment we have built together over time. I imagine that morning in my mind often, and it is never just one scene. It is many scenes layered together. The calm anticipation of waking up and knowing this day is ours. The excitement that builds quietly in the hours before. The simple joy of sharing small moments before the ceremony begins, and the awareness that soon the world will witness something deeply private that has always been ours. It is the quiet awareness that every choice, every laugh, every challenge, every plan, every moment of patience, and every leap of faith has led to this single inevitable day. I think about the way I will see you when you walk toward me. Not just the dress, not just the smile, not just the perfection of the moment, but you, the person I know in my heart, the person I have come to love beyond measure, the person who transforms ordinary days into memories I cannot imagine living without. That is what I will see first. The essence of you, the authenticity of you, incredible human being whose presence has already defined my life. And in that instant, I know everything else, the ceremony, the decorations, the music will fade into background, because the only thing that will matter is that you are finally undeniably here with me. I imagine the vows I will speak, Not words borrowed from books, not lines recited from tradition, but words that emerge directly from everything I have learned from loving you, from observing you, from building a life with you in imagination and in reality. Words that carry the weight of all our shared experiences, all our dreams, and all the promises I intend to keep. Every sentence will be more than a statement. It will be an affirmation of the life we have created together and the journey that begins fully the moment I call you my wife. I imagine the look in your eyes during that moment, the reflection of the same emotions I feel, the recognition that every laugh, every tear, every quiet moment, and every adventure we have shared has been leading to this day. The understanding that love is not just something we feel, but something we continuously choose, and that today our choice becomes formal, celebrated, and irreversible in the most meaningful sense. It is the day when our bond moves from promise into reality, from hope into commitment, from imagination into tangible life. I imagine the first moment after we are married, standing together hand in hand, looking at each other with the quiet joy that comes from knowing we are no longer two separate paths crossing, but a single journey continuing forward. That moment will be filled with a mixture of calm and excitement, with relief and anticipation, with pride and humility. Because marriage is not the end of a story, it is the beginning of the deepest, most profound chapter of life we could write together. I imagine the life that follows immediately after. The small, ordinary moments that will matter more than any grand gesture, the shared breakfast, the gentle conversation, the laughter over something trivial, the quiet comfort of being in the same space while knowing that our lives are forever intertwined. These moments are as significant as the ceremony itself because they are the threads that will sustain the tapestry of our marriage for the years to come. And I think about all the extraordinary moments too, the adventures, the travels, the celebrations, the dreams realized together. I think about standing beside you in unfamiliar cities, discovering new landscapes, embracing challenges we have never faced before, and knowing that whatever comes, we face it as one. I think about quiet evenings at home, watching the sunset, reflecting on our journey, and imagining the years stretching ahead, filled with the same laughter, love, and unwavering connection that brought us to this day. I imagine the way I will feel every day after that. The knowledge that my partner, my closest friend, my confidant, my love is finally recognized in the most permanent way possible. The knowledge that I will have someone beside me for all the uncertainties, all the triumphs, all the ordinary, extraordinary moments that I will have. The person whose essence has transformed my life completely, officially, and irrevocably, committed to sharing a lifetime with me. And in that vision, I realize something simple yet profound. This day is not just a personal milestone. It is the manifestation of a journey we chose to take together. Hill is the realization of dreams we have nurtured silently and openly. It is the day when all the promises, the hopes, the laughter, the quiet understanding, the small acts of love, and the shared belief in each other culminate into a moment that will define the rest of our lives. The day I call you my wife is the day I fully step into the life I have imagined with you every day. The day when every plan, every step, every adventure we dreamed about becomes intertwined in reality. The day when I will look at you and with no hesitation, no doubt, no question, call you the person I have chosen above all else. For all of my days, for every journey, for every sunrise and sunset, for all the ordinary and extraordinary moments yet to come, because you are my future, you are my adventure, you are my home, you are the story I want to tell, the journey I want to live, and the love I want to carry with me forever. And on that day, I will finally call you my wife. And in that call, in that acknowledgement, I will celebrate the life we are destined to share together, knowing that every choice, every dream, every promise has led us exactly here together as one.